Welcome to Damaging Ignorance. Damaging ignorance is important because whoever controls your language of discourse controls your reality. Every story has two sides to it. On this show, we challenge the dominant discourse of the week. We challenge the dominant discourse not because our side is right, but because the other side is wrong. We offer you the actual position of things, and we are rarely wrong. And even when we are wrong, it is because we do not choose to be right.
Right.
Ha. Welcome, gentlemen. Professor.
Thank you.
Today, we issue public notice number 1 of 2022 on behalf of the people. Article 136 of the Constitution has declared the positions of President and Deputy President vacant as from Tuesday, August 9th, 2022. So today, we will conduct an interview in the court of public opinion for the position of Deputy President.
Yes.
The holder of this office will be the Deputy CEO of a 13 trillion shilling economy in charge of 47 million people. And that is why we will be ruthless, brutal, and cacophonious. We will ask the hard questions. 1.
Cacophonious, what does that mean?
Cacophonious.
Sounds like a
Ridiculous.
Sounds like something bubble,
Hard talk. 1. The Constitution anticipates that the Deputy President can be President in the event that the President is unable to discharge his duties or dies. Are we ready for a single mother to be Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Kenya? Is it even right for a single mother to be Deputy President? And is Gachagua a single mother? Are we ready for him as well?
Woo! I mean, Prof.
You look upset by this single mother thing.
I mean, we have a population of women, 24 million in this country. 14 million of them are single mothers, right? That's the equivalent of our workforce. In fact, it's the equivalent of Gema. Gema as a population. Now, Gema has produced 3 presidents for the past 60 years.
Yeah.
Statistically speaking, single women are behind. They should
Single
have
mothers, not women.
single mothers should have produced a president. I mean, boss, they should have a president.
But you know, single mothers happen on account of a number of things. 1, you can be widowed.
Yeah.
2, you can have a useless man who walks away from you. And this is very typical in the case of Gema.
Right.
Either they walk away from you or they drink their way into the grave of antiquity.
Yeah.
Very typical in Gema as well.
Right.
Or you can be a single mother because a fellow just came, made you pregnant, and it just so happened that we do not know who that guy was, or you may know the guy, and then he takes off. So the question is, do we want to victimize single mothers on account of some of these misdemeanors? But we'll come back to that point later.
Okay.
And we'll see how we'll answer that question at some point. But the fundamental question we've asked today has to do with the Deputy President being the President in waiting in many ways and having the potential to become President. Right? And I want to pose a question to the Republic of Kenya. Before I pose this question, I want to say this.
Right.
That Rigathi Gachagua is a twin brother to William Ruto.
Oh, yes.
Carbon copy.
Oh, yes.
And that is largely because they were, their biological father politically is a man called Arap Moi.
Yes.
So photocopy Gachagua in Central, photocopy Ruto in Sugoi.
Yes.
They're basically the same thing.
Absolutely.
And if they are the same person, the question that I need to pose to the Republic is a guy called Livondo told us that, what did he say?
He said that William Ruto tried to kill President Uhuru Kenyatta. Those were his words.
And he deposited instruments
Yes.
with DCI
At DCI.
That's right.
to say that William Ruto
Yes.
Yes.
wanted to kill,
Yes.
tried to kill
Yes.
the president.
Not on just one occasion, on 2 occasions.
Whether
That's what
that
he
is
said.
true or not,
Yeah.
Livondo has not been sued yet, so we will go with that, whatever was deposited in the court of public opinion.
Right.
And the question, or the reason why, or the motive for wanting to take out the president
Yeah.
will be just as you have said.
Right.
If you take out the president,
Yeah.
then what happens? The guy who is the deputy becomes
President.
becomes president. So the question to the Republic is this. If Gachagua is a carbon copy of William Ruto,
Yes.
then the question is, does he have the potential, if the Livondo papers do actually make sense, does he have the potential to take out William Ruto once he comes in as deputy president, if he will be elected into that position? And the answer to that question is, I mean, if they're carbon copies, and if whatever Livondo told us is true, then the best way to get to the presidency is to take out your boss.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And remember also, the chief advisor to William Ruto told him that the only way to become president is take out your boss.
Absolutely.
That's
So
It's on public record.
Gachagua will also have similar advisors
Yeah.
who will tell him take out your boss.
Yeah.
But let's reverse this also. William Ruto is on record as saying that Uhuru wanted to kill him. Is that not true?
That is true.
There was an assassination plot
Yes.
being planned in Lamada.
By a committee.
Do you remember
Yes.
in Lamada?
Yes.
Which means also that
Yeah.
if they are carbon copies,
Yes.
and Ruto says that
yes.
Uhuru wanted to take him out,
Yeah.
the Gachagua can also claim
Yeah. That Ruto.
that Ruto wants to take him out.
Yeah.
So if Gachagua ticket is problematic, maybe that would be a path of correcting it.
Yes.
And the point I'm really making here is that when you select someone as your running mate, that person cannot be the same as you. Because what you did to your boss, he'll definitely do it for you.
Yeah.
But let me talk a little bit about Martha.
Yeah.
We do recall that Mother Karua
Right.
and Uhuru Kenyatta were the forerunners in the succession of Mwai Kibaki.
That's right.
In fact, Mother Karua could as well have been made the deputy prime minister
Yes.
under Mwai Kibaki,
Yes.
the National Accord and Reconciliation Act
Right.
architecture that was put up. But Kibaki chose instead to go with Uhuru Kenyatta
Yeah.
and said that Mother Karua's time will come.
Right.
Now, if a country is currently wondering why there is a groundswell for Mother Karua in central Kenya,
Right.
the reason is in the books of these Wazes.
Yeah.
And in their books, what actually happened is that 2 candidates were presented.
Right.
And the argument was we have one who is a Jaba, Jaba, also known as a warrior,
Yes.
and we will have one who is a Mudhamaki,
Yes.
also known as a prince.
Absolutely.
So the question before the Wazes was, do we take the Mudhamaki or the prince for the moment we are in now,
Yes.
or do we take a Jaba warrior for the moment we are in now?
Yeah.
And the Wazes, as my generation was negotiating with them, asking them to give us the mantles
Yes.
of the government of the tribe,
Right.
the Wazes said, the moment currently calls for a Mudhamaki, a prince.
Yeah.
But the moment for a warrior or a Jaba
Yes.
will come.
Yes.
And that moment is here.
It's now.
It's now.
Yeah.
So Mother Karua was always on the line.
Right.
She was always queued for purposes of leading Gema. And now the Gema nation has been handed over to her. And it's actually her responsibility to win it back. But we must make clear one point here, that once generational succession happens in the government of the tribe,
Yes.
because all tribes have governments.
Yes.
Yes.
The only problem in this country is that when the Gema people speak about the government of their tribe,
Yeah.
And when people organize themselves and come together, the entire country catches a fever.
It's a whole furore.
And that is partly engineered by Arab Moi, because he never wanted the Yema nation to organize themselves. And he also did not want Yema nation and the Luo nation to come together under Kadu. And he don't want them to do that so that he can perpetuate the hegemonic dominance of the Kikuyus and Kalenjins, which is what Uhuru Kenyatta is trying to break now. And he is also trying to heal the wounds of the past.
That's right.
Where it was said that a Kikuyu cannot vote for a Luo, or the two cannot come together. Having seen that conspiracy, Uhuru has brought in Mother Karua as a person to help heal the wounds, and also as a person that will actuate this particular vision of a Luo Kikuyu government. And do recall also, JM, that whenever the Luos and the Kikuyus have come together, change in this country.
Oh, absolutely.
Yawezekana in 2002 was a Luo Kikuyu affair.
Absolutely.
The independence process was also driven by these two communities.
Absolutely.
So change is in the air. It's going to be driven by these two communities. But the point I want to clarify on this is that Mother Karua is a surrogate chief. We need to clarify this. By surrogate, I mean that once generation succession happened in the Gema tribe, what actually transpired was that the mantles of power were handed over to Uhuru Kenyatta. And Uhuru Kenyatta will hand that mantle of power to your generation. Guys in the 30s, 20s, and 40s. He cannot hand over the mantles of power to
people of his age.
The only thing he can do, according to the acts of the government of the tribe, the only thing he can do is create a surrogate chief, somebody who will execute the intentions of the chief in place on his own behalf and as instructed by the elders. And by the way, William Ruto was a surrogate chief amongst the Kikuyus appointed by Uhuru Kenyatta. Kenyatta told him, now that I'm very busy building country, go and organize my people. So he thought it was a permanent position. But now Mother Karua has come in as an actual surrogate chief. And if you see her in Karatina, you see her in Kirinyaga, see her in Tharaka Nithi, all these spaces, she has this traction because the Gema nation was waiting to be told who will lead you in government, who will be the surrogate chief within government. That person has been appointed. And she's a single mother. On account of many things. But we'll answer that question in a bit.
And so this Rigathi, whose surrogate is he?
There are two ways of inheriting the chief. Shaka Zulu used the Sugoi way. Because Shaka Zulu and his community were warriors. He discovered, I think, his uncle would not give this thing to him. He went and killed him and took it away from him. Kalenjin nation is a warrior nation. William Ruto discovered I cannot get this thing from Arab Moi. He went and he took it by force. But the Gema nation is a little bit different. You do not take the position of chief from the chief by force, because we are not a warrior community. And Gachagua, being a twin brother of William Ruto, has gone to Uhuru Kenyatta and told him, this thing you want to give it to me. Otherwise I'm going to take it away from you. In the meantime, this guy is a greenhorn. Greenhorn politician. He's been in politics for only 4 years. And he's queued to be a potential president should anything happen to William Ruto. He has absolutely no experience he has experience in provincial administration and the running of the deep state, but he has no experience in statehood. And so he is a surrogate of himself, in my view, And as I've said in the past, William Ruto advises William Ruto. So William Ruto went and advised himself that the man to take up in this position
is his twin brother.
His twin brother, which I think was a mistake. But I'm hearing that there are some court cases that are trying to stop him.
That's right.
I don't know how true that is.
Yes.
Although I've seen some papers from the courts trying to stop Gachagua. And the beauty of that particular attempt is actually this, that if you attempt to stop Gachagua, Gachagua will stop you.
Yeah.
Because this guy, if Ruto is bandit, has a very high gangster index.
Yeah.
The man with a higher gangster index is Gachagua.
Yeah.
Try to remove him from this ticket and give it to somebody else,
Yes.
Gachagua will disorganize you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so either way, Gachagua is there to stay.
Yeah.
And the women like it that way.
So, the second interview question is about the position of Prime Minister. Should we give this position to a pampered prince, a double-minded man, and a crybaby? A watermelon with wipers that swing from one side to the other, called Kalonzo Musyoka. Does he deserve the position of Prime Minister under Raila? Or should this position go to a single mother called Charity Ngilu, a mother who has been in the trenches for over 30 years, as Kalonzo Musyoka pampers himself in salons, doing manicures and pedicures and grooming his mustache? Surely. Surely. What are we coming to?
James Kalonzo is my very good friend. So you cannot say such bad things about him. But on the first question of a single mother, the question of deputy president, my take on the court of public opinion is that this position was curated by the gods for Mother Karua.
Right.
And I saw it in June 2021. I already said it.
Yes.
Then, 1 year ago, that Mother Karua will be the person to be Raila's running mate.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what is interesting is that Mother Karua and I, as my big sister, younger brothers like to chokoza their big sister. So we used to chokoza her a lot. And in one of the chokozes, in 2013, I told her that your best bet, my sister, is to become Raila's running mate. In 2013, I told her that.
Yes.
And it was aired also in the Kibaki succession on Citizen TV.
Yeah.
And my sister called me very annoyed. I told her, all right, let us speak when this reality happens. And
Wow.
That was 2013.
2013.
9 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years later, the reality has happened. And I think she is the one to become our deputy president.
Yeah.
Gachagua, on the other hand, I have a lot of respect for him. Especially, you cannot have a greenhorn like him get into politics.
Yeah,
and in a matter of 2-3 years, he has occupied a very dominant space.
Position, yeah.
And it is because Gachagua studied political science University of Nairobi, where I taught.
Yeah.
And if he was a student in 1986, 87, when I was teaching young boys and girls then, he must have been my student. And I taught him Niccolo Machiavelli. That's why I'm saying, if he came to my Machiavelli classes, Niccolo Machiavelli, in particular the book The Prince, and he becomes deputy president, there's a likelihood that he will become president through means other than
Constitution.
No, constitutional means. Constitutional means, but means that are not above board. If he learned anything from me regarding the ways of Machiavelli, that the end must justify the means. Now, regarding the second question.
Yes, the Prime Minister.
Prime Minister,
Yes.
I said all that, I did all that tirade to remove the heat from your accusation of Kalonzo Musyoka. But to be honest with you, Kalonzo is not only slow punctured, I think his time has expired. And the moment is here for us to finish him, bury him in a grave, add soil on top and put a cross on top politically.
Yes.
Because I think he's completely overrated. If in 2007 Kalonzo Musyoka had backed either Raila Odinga or Mwai Kibaki, we would not have had the ethnic clashes we did. So by extension, he is partly responsible because of his indecision, because of his whiteness. He's partly responsible for whatever happened in 2007. And for him to dilly-dally on this particular matter, even having been given a position of Prime Minister under the Raila Odinga government, which he will not get because Kalonzo will fail in his bid for presidency and he'll go back to negotiate, and that position will have gone.
Yes.
That's why I'm not understanding what the sense of his running is. If it's for negotiation, time to negotiate is now.
No.
Negotiating later, after you forced a runoff and sent country into an uncharted path, he can only be doing that for selfish reasons.
Absolutely.
That's why I agree with your question. I think this position of Prime Minister and Raila Odinga should be given to a single mother.
Absolutely.
A single mother by the name of Charity Kaliku Ngilu.
Another single mother.
Another single mother. Yeah, this is the reign of the single mothers. If you say there are 14 million
There are 14 million.
single mothers,
It's equivalent of our workforce.
they are bigger than the Hustler Nation. So it should be given, bigger than the Hustler Nation. It should be given to Charity, and on account of many things. Charity has been consistent, 30 good years in politics. She's a very good nose.
Right.
For she's never been on the wrong side of history.
Yes.
And then 3, do recall that the leader of the combination, from after Mulu Mutisia died, from 1997 to 2007 when Kalonzo reigned, the leader of the combination was always Charity Kaliku Ngilu.
Yes.
She's been the leader of that nation. Kalonzo came and took it away from her, and she was so gracious and said, take it. But now that this man has jiringaed, my thinking is that we should give it to Ngilu. I don't know how many votes she will motivate for, but I must add something else. The Kamba vote is about, the one that will come out to vote is about 1.5 million. But we have 2.5 million Gema votes from the age of 40 and above.
Yes, absolutely.
So if our sister Mother Karua works very hard to persuade the age 40 and above, she can garner 2.5 million votes and cancel out the Kalonzo Musyoka
with change of 1 million people.
with a change of 1 million people. And then in the process we make Charity Ngilu
Prime Minister.
Prime Minister. So in my view, my brother Kalonzo Musyoka has a gift of miscalculation.
Yes.
And on this one, I think he has hedged his bets completely wrongly. And my counsel to Baba and my appeal to him is to reach out to Charity Ngilu and say that this position is for the Kamba nation.
Yes.
Kama Kalonzo wamekataa, nyinyi Wakamba mutupatie mtu. You can give us Charity, you can give us Kivuda, or maybe even if they are busy, there's a gentleman called Zioka Waita. Waita is a foremost elegant thinker, a good leader. I have worked with him on many occasions, and I wish and I pray he'll get the Machakos seat. But if he doesn't get it, that's a Kamba resource that must be utilized at the national level. So there's no shortage of leaders from the Kamba nation. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. The third interview question is this. After 60 years of independence, and a population of 24 million women. Why do these women think they can rule Kenya? What is their productive contribution to this country? What are they worth? And why should we give them the deputy president and prime minister? Why should we give those positions to a single woman? Is this a mistake? Has the country gone crazy? And why not Gachagua? Is he a woman? Anyone? Okay.
I don't know
in defense of Gachagua, Gachagua is like the late Nicholas Biwott, who told us that I'm a man and a total man.
Total man.
Gachagua, and you can see the energy around him,
Yes.
the bravado around him. You cannot ask if he's a woman. But I want to make a case for the single women in this country.
Right.
There are very, very many, especially in central Kenya, who have born sons and born daughters. And they bore them not because they do not want to get married, but because partly of the carelessness of the male gender. And whenever you see a single woman out there, you must also see a reckless man somewhere. That's the reason why the courts are full of cases of people saying we need to get
Inheritance.
Not inheritance, but at least maintenance.
Yes, absolutely.
Even the Sugoi man, Arab Ruto, has a single mother that he had a child called Abi. And he told us that he used to give her 90,000 shillings every month. And now Mama Abi came and said, man, Itoshi, ongeza. So there are so many Mama Abis out there in central Kenya. Now the question is, can we get a leader from amongst them? And do we discriminate somebody because of the mistakes and the faults of the people who gave them children? You cannot do that. In my view, I stand with the single mothers, and I stand with Mother Karua. You don't know why she's a single mother, but I think those are things that will come out in the public domain. All we know is that she's widowed. Even Charity Ngilu is also widowed. But when you think about it, you ask the question, what productive contribution have these women made to our country? And I think that question is completely preposterous. You know why? How many women do we have in this country? 24 million. Is that correct?
That's correct.
24 million women?
Yes, 24 million women.
Okay, let me pose this question differently. How many people do we have in this country?
47
million. All these 47 million people were carried in the womb by a woman. And you say that 14 million of these women, the guys who impregnated them took off. But if you think about the think about 47 million women, 47 million people carried by a woman for 9 months. 47 multiplied by 9 months is how much? 47 million is 34.5 million years. So you've asked what is the productive contribution of the women of this country. To constitute Kenya, the women of this country,
actually 42 million.
The women of this country have contributed, my calculation, and you can calculate yourselves also. My calculation is that they have contributed 34.5 million years to constitute this country. Now you want to tell me that with that kind of contribution, and as they were contributing this number of years, the male folk was gallivanting. In central Kenya, they were completely drunk. As the women were doing this. Ni kukula tu wanakula. As the women are doing 34.5 million years of productive labor. Do we deserve a woman for deputy president? I think if this is an interview, my answer is a resounding yes. Do we deserve a woman in particular who is a single mother? My response to that is another resounding yes. Will Mother Karua take over the mountain as a surrogate chief on behalf of country and also on behalf of the instructions of the elders that passed the mantle to Uhuru Kenyatta? She will do it. And if you think there is euphoria, there is going to be a tsunami. The poster girl for the Raila campaign in central Kenya is going to be Mother Karua.
Absolutely.
And I think that once we send her out there, because she's tenacious, she reminds me of Ken Matiba and the way he used to campaign. This single mother is going to reclaim and regain the mountain on behalf of the instructions of the elders that gave Uhuru Kenyatta the mantles. Umeshika?
Kabisa.
Are you understanding what I'm saying?
100%.
100%.
I hope you do. You're not fathers of single mothers. Wait, especially you, Kevin.
None that I know of.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen,
I thought we had finished. Okay.
it is our hope that we have damaged some ignorance. We also hope that we have exposed the owners of the Ignorance Project. Remember, things are not as bad as they seem. Or are they?